What's happening, sports fans? Trent the Great back in the building, man. Talking that sport-ish, man. And I want to talk about a gem of the week that where Kobe Bryant said that Shaq would have been the greatest of all times and they would have won 12 rings together. Well, Kobe was asked in an interview if Shaq had Kobe's work ethic, where would he be? Well, Kobe Bryant, being Kobe, responded the only way he knows how, and that is truthfully. And sometimes the truth will set you free. Sometimes the truth is the best thing to do. And sometimes the truth is something that you need to keep to your damn self. You know what I'm saying? Because this could have started a war unlike any other, or well, at least like the old war that they had. But you know, Kobe Bryant is a dude who by all accounts and from my sources is a straightforward and tell you the truth kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? So he pulls no punches and he tells you what you think you need to hear and not what you want to hear. So anyway, back in the day, Kobe apparently told Shaq all this to his face, amongst other things. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to like what he says, but damn it, you gotta respect a man who does that. You know, so Kobe and Shaq won 3 rings together, 3 in a row and 3 out of 4. You know, with them losing their final series together, and Shaq ultimately departing. Well, basically getting kicked out by Dr. Bus. The fact that Kobe thinks that they would have won 12 rings together may seem ludicrous to some, but it actually has some validity. And I will argue both points. So, first off, Kobe and Shaq probably would not have won 12 rings because outside of Bill Russell, no one has even come close to that. Next, you got age and attrition that would have came in, and that would have played a big part. You know what I'm saying? So they both would have been pretty healthy to play at a high level, and they would both have to be the superstars that they were known to be. And this is all amongst a ever-changing game. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. So if you got, they said they wanted to, Kobe said he wanted 12 rings. They would have won 12 rings. So they were at 3. So they needed what? 9 more? So that was 9 more years of playing together. You know, well, Shaq had already been in the league since 92, 93, you know what I'm saying? And he started breaking down already. And he was over 350 pounds from my understanding. And that's what they said he was. He looked bigger than that, you know. But another thing too, Shaq and Kobe also would have had to got along for that period of time. But everyone knows, man, that them two dudes hated each other at that time. You know, they actually had a fight once upon a time, from what I heard from my sources, where Shaq had said that he respected Kobe for standing up to him. You know, this is all after he swung on Kobe or something, or slapped him or something like that, and Kobe went at him. You know, like, nigga, fuck, you know, be putting your hands on me. Anyway, I remember when all this was going on, man, and the internet wasn't what it is now. But this was the talk everywhere. From the ballpark, to work, to the coolers, to the clubs. Hell, everywhere, man. Everybody was talking about how Shaq and Kobe wasn't getting along. How it was the clash of the Titans. In-team rivals. And Star Wars. This is just some of the terms that people were using when talking about their issues and their beef. Well, Kobe felt like he was the better player, and everyone else felt like Shaq was the best player in the league at that time. So with egos like that, the two were bound to clash, man. And there wasn't anything anybody could do about it. Not their teammates, not the fans, not Phil Jackson, not Dr. Bus, nobody. You know, when they were on the court, they were like fine wine together, though. They just clicked. You know what I'm saying? So you had to give them that much. They was able to put their differences aside when it was time to ball, because I guess, well, you know, this is your chosen profession, and this is what you want to do, and you're making a lot of money doing it. And it's like the old saying goes, you playing a kid's game and getting paid a king's ransom. And they both have these egos which are out of this world. You know what I'm saying? So they both didn't want to lose, and they probably both wanted to outshine each other. So it was like, well, we best to work together. And it bothered Kobe that Shaq was the man and Shaq was the go-to guy, because back then the game wasn't what it is now. You know, it was more, we dump it in, give it to the big guy, let them score. If it's not there, he's double team, triple team, kick it out to the shooters. Now, you know, and that was called a inside out. Now it's the outside in, where the shooters, the guards or the forwards are the ones who have the ball, and they're the primary scorers, you know. So that's the way it always been for, what, 70, 80 years? I don't know how old the league is. However it is, with that's the way it always been, but it just recently shifted. So that's another thing that would have came into play about them winning 12 rings, because you had to give the ball to somebody like Shaq and have to slow the game down. You know what I'm saying? That's another reason why, what's his name, Carmelo is having so much trouble, you know, getting a job. It's one of the reasons. It's not the reason, you know, but it's one of the reasons, because the game shifted under everybody's feet. All those ball dominant guys who stopped the flow of the game, like Carmelo, you know, backing in and get those points. Well, now it's free willing, you know, it's 3-pointers every damn way. He gets a 3-pointer, you get a 3-pointer, everybody get a damn 3-pointer. And like I say, when it's on with them threes like that, it's a beautiful thing. But when it's not, it absolutely sucks. You know what I'm saying? To see that, it just, ugh. But that's the way it is now. You know what I'm saying? That is exactly the way it is. So that 12 ring thing, I don't know. But I do think this. They could have won more chips together. You know what I'm saying? Maybe 5. But that 12 is still a stretch. But I think they could have won 5, maybe 6. You know what I'm saying? 4 or 5, but maybe 6. But that's stretching it. You know what I'm saying? For one, and another thing, one other thing is Kobe is a workout warrior. And Shaq isn't a workout warrior. He wasn't then, and he isn't now. If you look at him on TNT with him and the rest of them cats on that show, Shaq's a big old dude, man. And he loved Big Macs, from my understanding. He had an addiction to him, and from what my sources tell me. But also, man, you know, it's like this. Even as different as they were, they needed each other. You know what I'm saying? At least at that time. Because when them two cats were on together, they were on, man. And you had to say like this. Shaq at one point in the league for about a 3-year stretch, maybe 4 years, Shaq was completely unstoppable. Them first 3 years, they won the championship, because Shaq went to the Lakers in '96. And they won the title finally. They broke through when they got Phil Jackson, and they won 3 in a row and went to the finals 4 straight years. But that 3-year stretch, Shaq was completely unstoppable. He started breaking down that fourth finals against the Pistons. But them 3 years he was on, you could not guard. He was unguardable. They put 2 people on him. They put three people on him. They had to come up with something called Hacker Shaq just to find a way to slow this dude down. You know what I'm saying? And then you had the young Kobe Bryant, who was the closest thing to Michael Jordan we had ever seen. I mean, he could do damn near everything Mike could do. So he had an ego. You know what I'm saying? He had an ego. He felt like, hell, I'm better than this big fat ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? But, like I say, them was the times back then. Dump it into the big guy. It ain't there. Give it out to the little guy. Or, you know what I'm saying? It was more or less like let Kobe kind of dominate for a little bit, then give it to Shaq, and let him finish it off and take us home. And that bothered Kobe, because he's got an ego as big as Shaq. You know what I'm saying? Shaq a big old dude. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, they also, you know, on that Lakers squad, man, at that time, they had a pretty good cast around them. You know, they had Phil Jackson. You combine that with playing for Dr. Bush and playing in L.A., you had nothing but a recipe for success. And succeed is what they did. But in Kobe's eyes and other people's eyes, they didn't succeed enough. I mean, 12 championships, a little unrealistic. But 3 out of 4, that ain't too bad, man. That ain't too bad. And Shaq wind up going off and getting him another chip, which put him at 4. And he told Kobe in a rap, Kobe, tell me how my ass feel. Then you had Kobe Bryant, you know, he comes back And he wins 2 more. So put him at 5. Shaq had 4. So, you know, it's not really unrealistic that they could have won to cut those few more together. It's definitely not unrealistic. But, you know, you don't know what you never know. Well, excuse me, we'll never know now. We'll never know now. But anyway, man, that's my take on that. That's my take on that, man. Kobe said Shaq would have been the greatest of all times. They would have won 12 rings together. Well, I don't know, man. But we'll never know now. You know what I'm saying? Unless we play on NBA Live or whatever, or NBA 2K, and you might win 12 there. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm Trent the Great, man, talking that sport-ish. Man, and if you ain't yet, hit that subscribe button, that like button, that notification bell to let you know when I'm putting these hoes up. You know what I'm saying? And, yo, man, so shout out to everybody showing me love and helping me out. I appreciate it. And we're going to keep this thing rolling, man. Once again, I'm Trent the Great, and I am out. 1.